do it slightly differently. I may extend by about 5-10 minutes if I'm not able to complete what I began, but may not be. I'm just giving a buffer time. We're going to put many elements together. See, first of all, f- uh, we have to use our discernment to check if really something is happening. Like as we do our practices once in a while, what is happening? So the practice is very material. This one, so it's very concrete. It's a very material contact with the body, and then we wait for something, and there is a material shift as well. Okay, so working with hands is very important. Because otherwise sometimes we don't know if there is truly a shift only for that. So because some people can really concentrate without the hands, that's fine, but once in a while it is good to check with the hands. So today we will do the main practice with the hands. Okay, but prior to that, one state we can naturally be in is what they refer as the cave of the heart, connected to the above the head. This we'll do for 5-10 minutes to begin with. It's always a good practice to begin, no matter whether you're doing deeper body work or any other practice that you're beginning. It's a good way to begin. It's like the cave of the heart is that inside, the depth. You just take your attention deep, 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 deep. You go beneath your emotions as well, and you will come to a spot. You can do anything there. You can chant a om there. You can pray there. You can connect to your divine there, whatsoever. Okay. And from there, we just connect to the above. Keep an aspiration so let it not just be a vague keeping in the above. Over time, these are ranges and let them open up. Okay, so we will take that classic posture in the beginning, and then I'll explain it because so you either sit for the first one or you can lie down as well. Both are fine. When we go to the second part, today we will, so it's like if your body, assume this is the body lying down, you will work with your hands spread out. It can be nicely spread out, but I'm just showing it for the video camera sake. You keep it spread out and you connect to vastness. So this is vastness. So truly you're connecting to vastness. See, there are three things that this practice depends on. One, what is actually coming in? The inflow, the inflow from the above, so to say, or from the divine direct, the different qualities, silence, joy, a direct inflow. Okay, one. Two is a lot depends on vastness, which is why in this particular course, right from the beginning, vastness was brought up front. So from now, we just remember this material. So as you enter your body, enter it very materially. So it's like, because in pranic and Reiki and all, normally we enter energetically. Here, you feel the body's mass, you feel the body's substance, and you enter that because that is what is going to release what it has, absorb the new that is coming in, but much better. Is like this. You connect to vastness, and from there, let's say you're keeping it against your head, for example. From here, with the vastness, you start sensing different points. Okay, and keeping your hand like that or like this, start condensing. Okay, so with the vastness, you are just condensing. Okay, now today what we'll do is we'll work with complementary points. So, for example, you have a headache here, or let's say something is tight here. As you're working here, the exact same point on the other side of the body you will pick up also. Because we also know from physical exercise insights that sometimes if one part is not well, the other part starts straining to compensate. Okay. So, and also it is very important to open all sides of the body. So let's say let's say you have something here. Let's say you have a headache here. Then you're from the vastness, you're sensing in. So, and then you're condensing. So for condensing, your hand can come closer or it is like this, but you're condensing. First you do in this point, and then with the same equivalent on the other side, you just go condense, 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 and condense can be just a little bit or as much, kind of a thing. And then you expand back into the vastness. Okay, so this is one action. Then what you do is, as you're doing it at some point, you take your finger. We'll work not with the hand, but the fingertips. So it's very accurate. So as you're doing it, like you do it a couple of rounds. So today, mostly you'll have to go organic. I can give only broad steps. You'll take a finger and put it at that point, exactly at that point, and you can go around. Actually, if you go around, you'll know the exact point, which is less energy, or it is stiff, or it is, contracted. So you put your hand there. One hand is with vastness, one hand is with that exact point. Continuing to stay connected with that vastness, you go within that point. Okay. You go within that point and you remember. So the first posture is whatever difficulty is there, you offer it to the above. That's the first posture. The second posture we introduced last time, where the body part, instead of sensing itself, let it sense the divine or a divine quality, like a silence or a joy or whatever, or vastness in this case. So you'll go into that point and you will check, is that part aware of the vastness? That's all. You will vary it. From vastness, you will come in. So when you're coming from vastness, remember to be identified with the vastness, not on the points, including the pain. Normally, we get identified on the pain. Here we identify with the vastness and with this posture. But when you come within the point, you are going into that point. First practice, you're offering it. Second practice, instead of sensing itself, you start sensing the vastness. You can utter a om sound. Is that point sensing the sound? Is that point sensing the inflow? This is our practice. Any major doubts you can ask? Oh, I didn't record, huh? Oh, it's recording. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Any major doubts?
Is it better to lie down or sit and do, Arul?
For me, I tested this. I've been, see, every week I start off on Monday. What is the practice to go on Sunday? And it slowly builds up. So yesterday when I was checking this practice, it is coming better lying down. It is coming better lying down because, but you should not sleep. That's the only thing. A, your hand is rested. B, it is like the body has to go as relaxed as possible in this. The more relaxed, the more supple it can become. Lying down is better as I understand.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay. So we'll begin. Kindly close your eyes. And as you become aware of the body, develop an adoration for the body. Somehow in all traditions, adoration is always significant. There is an adoration for the flame, for the Agni. There's an adoration for a sacred something. As you enter the body, develop an adoration of your body as much as you adore the divine. There should be no partiality. Because the body, even though it may have plus or minus, at the depth, it has the divine. It is also divine as a substance. So with an absolute faith overriding any doubts, any challenges, enter your body very materially, which means you're feeling the body's substance. And with that, you're entering the body with an attitude of absolute adoration. You're adoring the body or adoring the divine, to a point where you should know that you should feel as if there is no difference. Especially if there is any part of the body which simply is functioning with its old nature, or is having some illness, or is having some entanglements. Even there, bring the attitude of adoration, pointing to the very depth. Now slowly bring your awareness to your heart center and know that this is the seat of love. This is the seat of flame. This is the seat of adoration and aspiration. And if you were to retreat into a silent cave, where from there you can connect to higher, to the vastness, how would it feel? Similarly, take your attention to the very depth, deeper than the depth that you are aware of, not bothering whether it is found inside the body or outside the body and the back, it doesn't matter. Staying at that space where there is some quietness, some joy. And there, wherever you reach, utter the sound Om once or twice with no agenda except as a form of worship to the divinity that is sustaining and creating this universe, including your body, including this earth. Like you offer a flower to the divine, and there is no expectation, just that loving offering. Similarly, offer one or two ohms. And then, if there is something that is the most sacred for you, it can be the image of a divine, it can be the name of the divine, it can be the samadhi of the divine, or it could be that felt presence. Whatsoever, invoke it in the very depth of your heart. If any of you can feel the subtle body of the divine, just the way in your own body's depth, you get the subtle body. If it's a divine master and if you know how to connect intimately, your awareness can slip in to glimpse that subtle body, which often will be made of light. It will be an extraordinarily soft, supple substance made of light, and it will appear different at different times. If you can connect to the subtle body of a divine or divine master, that also you can invoke and place it in the very depth of your heart. From this depth of your heart, and you're hardly using your mind here, you're only using awareness, movement of the awareness to a particular depth, and shifting the directionality of that awareness. So you're doing it very concretely to whatever extent it is coming. So from the very depth of your heart, you turn your gaze, your inner gaze, to point above your head and also land in the space above your head. You're both present within the cave and you're also present above. When your awareness is present in the above, bring the attitude of humility. No matter where you are, the divine is always far ahead. And that state of humility puts us into a very receptive state to absorb the divine qualities and later become more and more divine-like. Staying within the cave of your heart and a portion of your awareness above your head, will pay our homage to the different planes or qualities. Bow down to the vastness and the height, the infinite vastness and the infinite height in the consciousness above. Bow down to the aspect of silence. It's almost like a vertical column of silence that actually acts as a carrier, connecting and linking the lower ranges to the ranges above, where you start entering light. We sit on the border above vastness, above silence, where the light zone just begins. There you sit from time to time with your awareness open to greater height. And the rest you will receive on your own. You just have to park yourself above the vastness, above the silence, just as the zone of light is beginning. Stay there with awareness open to greater heights. This is the classic posture within your heart, staying in this zone of the beginning of light. And if you leave your body relaxed and receptive, not just clinging to your past, not just clinging to people, but actually clinging to the source. Whatever opens up above starts trickling by itself within your body. You don't have to do anything. Maintaining this posture, deeper heart and above the head. We'll now work through your body here and there. So you can be either in a lying down posture or sitting up. That's your choice. Open your hands now on the sides of your head, little bit or more, as I explained in the beginning. So the hands can be slightly open upward as well, so that it is in a posture of receiving from the above. But the hand can also connect to vastness. The moment there is even a little bit of descent from above, we need vastness and wideness. Otherwise, the body will not be able to receive. So spreading our arms wide, leaving it open to the above. The two palms, we connect to vastness and feel the vastness. Now, with the palms connected to vastness, sense different points in your head, either one by one or simultaneously. The hand and the vastness are directed. So, in fact, you will actually feel as if the vastness is cast and permeating into your head region, specifically on points which need some attention. Now, either with your hand still there or by bringing it slightly closer, condense the substance of your head, which means you are allowing the different points of the substance to come closer and closer. Once in a while, remember the heart to above connect just for a microsecond, because there will be an inflow from there automatically. And just continue to condense. Now, more so focus on one point in your head, for example, where there is a difficulty. And focus on the same point on the other side of your body. And then condense within these 2 points on the left and right, staying connected still with the vastness, and allow the substance to come closer and closer. Remember, we are doing it very materially. The entire deeper body work is material. You're feeling that compression of the subtle substance. Your head will still remain in the same way, experiencing a mild pressure, but the inner substance will come closer and closer. And then take your hand, withdraw it back to vastness on both sides, take it away, further away, your both palms, so that you're allowing the head to connect back after condensation, expansion. Just allow it to widen the inner substance and rest in vastness. When you're resting in vastness, just mildly be aware of the link between the cave of your heart and above your head. Now, in real time, you can do this as many times as you want. It's totally up to you. Now, keep one hand connected to vastness and the other hand, take a finger or two, just the fingertips, place it on one point where there is some difficulty in the head region. It could be front, back, sides. You're placing the fingertip on a specific point. And now the true body work begins if you learn to be, when I do one-to-ones, this is how I do. The fingertips tell. So you just place the fingertip on the particular point in the head and you go very quiet. You're first listening to the sensations here. One hand in the vastness, one hand sensing the point. We follow the first practice. Whatever you sense in this region, simply just open it to the above. And with the finger, you can do it in a very concrete way. Slightly bend your fingers. The fingertips are still on the skin. Slightly bend your fingertips pointing downward so that the fingertips will open slightly upward. This slide is a very slight movement where the fingertip is pointing slightly to the above, and then you focus. Use your gaze. Keep it within the point inside your head. Keep it in the consciousness above. If possible, above that vastness, above that silence, where the beginning of light is there, Keep your gaze there. Keep your gaze within this point. This is what means by opening to the above. You're now doing it very materially. The fingertip is touching the point, slight bend of the fingertip pointing to upward, gaze is within the point, gaze is on the beginning of light in the above. That's it. Opening the point to the above. You're practicing and you're quietly waiting, observing what's going on, but just quietly waiting. And then we follow the second practice. The point, instead of feeling its own body portion, starts sensing any of the divine qualities. So now what you do is, there will be a slight pressure of your fingertips on that point. Relax the pressure, and as you're relaxing the pressure, which means slightly your fingertip is still touching the skin, but slightly you're withdrawing it, reducing the pressure, and in that slight movement, connect it to vastness. Connect the point to vastness. I repeat, the fingertip is still on the skin, you're slightly withdrawing it, very slightly. And as you do it, you will get a little bit of ease there, and then connect it to vastness, this point, and check if the point is able to sense the vastness. And then you can very quietly into that point chant a Om once or twice silently, and see if that point is able to feel the Om vibration. Now do it intuitively in your own way. You can simply connect this point to the divine in any way you wish. It could be the samadhi, it could be an image, it can be above your head, it can be the subtle body of the divine, it can be the feet, it can be the hair, wherever you feel there is the higher force concentrated. Connect this point of your body to that concentrated force and see if the point can sense. Remember to stay connected to vastness. Only then the capacity of absorption will be good. Directly connect this part to any divine where there is a concentrated light and force and see if this point can sense. Let go of your hand and rest it for a while against your body. After any one round where you're working with the vastness and then a point, it's important to connect to the entire body. We don't want to be identified with a point. We want to be with the entire body substance. So for 2 minutes, simply with your breath, travel through many different parts of your body, up and down. And sometimes you'll be surprised that since you have done this practice in one point, few other points will be doing the practice on its own because the body's cells imitate each other. For 2 minutes, be with your breath up and down. And then we will do one more round of practice in any other point. Choose another part of your body where you feel the deeper body work can be done. It can be a logical choice or it can be an intuitive choice in the moment. Select another part of your body. Basics. As you enter the body, this particular part, enter it very materially. Feel the skin, feel the inner organs, feel the bones, feel the tissues, and slowly permeate your awareness and even breath within this body substance with an attitude of adoration. Somewhere in this substance, the divine is living. So, with that aspect of adoration, you enter this part of the body. Basics again, staying with his body, wherever this body part is, staying within this body, but now also for a brief moment, connect to the cave of your heart and invoke the divine image or utter the sound Om One. And connect to the vastness above your head. The zone of silence vertically arising. And every time you have to discover this new, where is the start of the zone of life? Sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't come. And if it comes, then rest your awareness in the zone where the light begins. Now bring your awareness within this body part that you're going to work on now and leave it open to the cave and the light above your head. Place your arms beside this part of the body, if it is reachable. And if you're lying down, let's say if you're working with your knees or feet, you can slightly bend them so that your hand is closer. It's up to you. So place your arms outstretched on left and right, connecting to vastness. And from that vastness, direct that vastness and your gaze within the part of the body that you're working on all, on many points in that part that you're working on. As the vastness touches the body, you will get sometimes a lot of sensations. But sometimes if you're very subtle, I'm using a metaphor because I don't know how to share, you'll get a song of the cells. Something like, it's almost like the cricket sounds outside in the early morning and night. You will get a little buzz, like tiny vibrations occurring in the same place, but creating something like a movement. Now, from the vastness, sense into one of your points where some work is needed. On both sides, whichever point in a particular side of the body, then the other side of the body also. And slowly, centered in vastness, condense and condense and condense through these points on left and right, allowing the cells or the substance to come closer and closer and closer. And then let it go. allowing the part to widen and expand. And as you do it, remember to leave it connected to the cave of heart and the vastness silence or the beginning of light above your head, further left, open to the above. And now one hand with the vastness, another hand keep it the fingertips on one or a few points where you need to work on. And through the fingertips, take your awareness deeper into that point or the part of the body and become aware of the sensations, the material nature of that part, the energetic nature of that part. And whatever you sense here, the first practice is slightly curve your fingertips, dropping the rest of the portion of the finger slightly downward so that the fingertip slightly opens to the above. Using that mild movement, keep your gaze within the body part or point from the surface to the depth. Keep your gaze also within the vastness, silence, or beginning of light above your head. Sometimes the body and the above will feel separate. Sometimes you'll have a click where there's a perfect connection and then something can permeate on its own. Now we practice the second one. Is the point itself able to connect to the divine directly? So first, is the point able to feel the vastness? So you keep your awareness within that point in some depth, and is it able to feel the vastness? Utter one or two sound ohms there within that point and see if the point itself, the body part inside that point, is it able to feel the ohm vibrations? And finally, connect this point to the divine in any which way, the divine subtle body, feet, hand, whatever image, and is the part of the body able to sense the divine directly. Let go and remain quiet for 2 minutes. After every practice with the part or a point, remember to connect to the entire body and preferably aspiring to connect to the pure divine substance at the very depth. This contact with the whole body is always very important. So connect to the whole body, aspiring that you discover or rediscover the pure substance at the depth. Be with your breath for 2 minutes as you go up and down and up and down. We close the practice for today. You can take as much time as you want and close the practice for yourself. Thank you very much.